There are 7 small hygiene habits that most people overlook, but doctors notice them immediately. And if you're over 60, ignoring these signs can quietly lead to health issues, infections, and even social withdrawal. This video isn't here to shame anyone. It's here to gently shine a light on the everyday routines that keep us well, respected, and confident, especially as we age. You'll hear real stories, practical tips, and wisdom you can use today to protect your health and your dignity. Let's dive into the 7 personal hygiene mistakes most seniors make, and how to fix them without stress or shame. Mistake number 1, neglecting daily oral hygiene. What's one thing that can quietly ruin your health, affect your heart, and even lead to serious infections without you even noticing? Your mouth. I didn't always think about it. Like most folks, I brushed my teeth in the morning, sometimes again at night. That was it. I figured that was enough. But a few years ago, I had a wake-up call I won't forget. It started with a regular checkup. My doctor leaned in a little, looked me in the eye, and asked, "How often are you flossing?" I laughed. "Flossing? I do it sometimes." He didn't smile. He said, "I can smell the bacteria from across the room." That hit me hard. Turns out I had early gum disease. Bleeding gums, mild swelling, and a bit of bone loss starting to show on the x-rays. I hadn't felt any pain. My teeth looked fine in the mirror. But inside, my mouth was becoming a breeding ground for bacteria, and it wasn't just staying in my mouth. The doctor explained something I'd never thought about. When your gums bleed, even a little, that bacteria enters your bloodstream. It doesn't just cause tooth loss. It's been linked to heart disease, strokes, and infections in other parts of the body. That scared me, because I wasn't ignoring my health. I was watching my blood pressure, eating better, even walking daily. But I'd overlooked something as basic as oral hygiene. And I'm not alone. Many older adults make this mistake. We assume brushing once or twice a day is enough. We skip flossing because it's annoying or our hands are stiff. We forget about the dentist. Or we think, well, I have dentures now, so that part doesn't matter. But it does matter. Your mouth is the gateway to your entire body. And when it's not clean, it doesn't just smell bad, it becomes dangerous. Dry mouth, for example, is common as we age, especially if you're on certain medications. But a dry mouth means less saliva, and saliva helps wash away harmful bacteria. Without it, your risk of cavities and gum disease skyrockets. I learned that the hard way. After my doctor's warning, I booked a dental visit. The hygienist didn't sugarcoat anything. She said, "You've got a lot of buildup. It's not just cosmetic. This stuff is feeding infection." That day, I made a change. I committed to brushing twice a day, really brushing, for 2 full minutes, using a soft brush and fluoride toothpaste. I started using flossers, the kind with a handle that's easier on the hands. No more excuses. And I started rinsing with an alcohol-free mouthwash every night to help keep the bacteria under control. Within a few weeks, my mouth felt cleaner. My breath improved. But more importantly, I knew I was protecting more than just my teeth. I was protecting my heart, my brain, and my overall health. So here's what I want you to ask yourself. When was the last time you truly took care of your mouth? Not just a quick brush, but real care. Have you been putting off the dentist, ignoring bleeding gums, skipping the floss because it's just too much trouble? I get it, it's easy to overlook. But trust me, doctors and dentists notice right away. They can smell it. They can see it. And what they see tells them a lot about the rest of your health. And if this kind of honest conversation helps you, I'd be grateful if you liked this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. We share the stuff that really matters, the kind of wisdom we wish someone had told us sooner. Taking care of your mouth isn't vanity, it's survival, especially after 60 when everything in your body is a little slower to bounce back. A small infection now can become a big problem fast. And if you wear dentures, this still applies to you. Dentures need to be cleaned daily. Your gums need to be checked. Ill-fitting dentures can cause sores, which can get infected. I've known people who had to be hospitalized just because of an untreated sore under their denture plate. It all counts. Your toothbrush isn't just a tool for fresh breath. It's a weapon against aging poorly. So tonight when you brush, take a little longer. Floss. Rinse. Give your mouth the attention it deserves, because something as simple as better oral hygiene might just help you live longer and with a whole lot more confidence. Mistake number 2. Infrequent or improper bathing. You might not think skipping a shower here and there is a big deal. And in some cases, it isn't. But for many older adults, infrequent or improper bathing becomes more than just a skipped habit. It becomes a health hazard. I've seen it firsthand. My cousin's father in his mid-70s started avoiding showers. He said it was just too cold, too much trouble. He'd give himself a quick wipe with a washcloth and say that was enough. But over time, his skin started to change. Dry patches, redness, even a few small sores, especially around areas like underarms and groin. The worst part? He didn't even notice the smell, but everyone else did. It wasn't about laziness. It was about discomfort, routine disruption, and not wanting to ask for help. But doctors, they notice right away. They can see dry buildup on the skin. They can smell when the body hasn't been properly cleaned. They can spot fungal infections, rashes, and signs of irritation in skin folds, all from infrequent bathing or not washing the right areas. It's not about scrubbing from head to toe every single day. In fact, overbathing with harsh soaps can make things worse, especially for aging skin. What matters is consistency and targeting the right areas, the ones where bacteria tends to build up. I'm talking about the underarms, groin, feet, behind the ears and skin folds, under breasts, belly folds, between toes. These are the zones where moisture and heat create the perfect environment for bacteria and fungus. And yes, doctors notice when these zones are being neglected. A friend of mine once told me, "You know the strange thing? I used to feel embarrassed about needing help with bathing. But once I got into a routine, just 3 times a week with proper care, I felt cleaner, more confident. And I stopped worrying about people noticing." That's the point. Cleanliness isn't just about how you smell. It's about your comfort, your dignity, your health. Bathing helps prevent skin infections. It keeps pores clear. It reduces itchiness and irritation. And just as importantly, it feels good. It reminds your body it's still worth caring for. So here's what I recommend. Aim for bathing or showering at least 2-3 times per week. Use lukewarm water, not hot, to avoid drying out the skin. Choose a gentle, moisturizing soap. Pat dry, don't rub, and moisturize after bathing. Use a soft washcloth or sponge to gently clean hygiene zones. If balance is an issue, invest in a sturdy shower chair and non-slip mats. And if a full shower isn't always possible, a sponge bath with warm water and a bit of gentle soap still counts. Just be thorough in the right areas. If any of this rings true for you, or reminds you of a loved one who might need a gentle reminder, please like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. These are the things people don't talk about enough, but they make a world of difference. Because your skin is your first line of defense. It's not just about looking clean, it's about staying safe, comfortable, and respected. You deserve that. Every day you're alive is a day worth showing up for, and taking care of yourself is part of that showing up. So the next time you feel like skipping a wash, ask yourself, would a little warm water and 10 minutes help me feel more alive? If the answer is yes, don't wait. Wash, breathe, nourish your skin. Because staying clean isn't just about hygiene, it's a quiet act of self-respect. Mistake number 3, ignoring foot care. If there's one part of the body that tells the truth about hygiene more than any other, it's the feet. And most people don't give them a second thought. We wash our hands, we might scrub our face. We keep our clothes clean, but feet, they get stuffed in socks and shoes and left alone, sometimes for days. That's a mistake, especially as we age. I knew a gentleman at our senior center, quiet man, always wore sturdy shoes. One day, during a group fitness class, he took off his shoes and the smell hit the whole room. He was embarrassed. But more than that, he had cracked heels, thick yellow toenails, and even a small sore on the bottom of one foot he hadn't noticed. He told me later, "I can't remember the last time I really looked at my feet." That's common, but doctors, they look, and they notice. Untrimmed toenails can cause pain or make walking harder. Cracks in the heels can invite infection. Poor circulation shows up first in the feet. And if you have diabetes, an unnoticed sore can quickly become dangerous, even life-threatening. I remember reading about a man who lost a toe because he ignored a blister that got infected. It could have been prevented with just a little attention. So let me say this clearly, foot care is not vanity, it's vital. Your feet carry you through life, and after 60 they need more care, not less. Here's what I do now, and what I recommend to others. Wash your feet daily with warm water and gentle soap. Dry them thoroughly, especially between the toes. Inspect your feet, top, bottom, and between toes every few days. Moisturize the heels and soles, but avoid lotion between toes, it can trap moisture. Trim your toenails straight across, never rounded, and file the edges. Wear clean socks daily and breathable shoes. And if you can't reach your feet easily, that's okay, ask for help, or use long-handled tools made just for this purpose. There's no shame in adapting. One of the best things I ever did for my health was invest in a pair of supportive shoes and a good foot file. My balance improved, my walking became easier, and I stopped worrying about hidden sores. Doctors can tell when someone is caring for their feet. They see it in the skin, the nails, even the way you walk. And when you neglect this area, it sends a message. Not just about hygiene, but about how much you're still invested in your own well-being. Because taking care of your feet is taking care of your independence. You want to keep walking. Keep gardening, keep dancing, even if it's just a sway in the kitchen. Then start by respecting your feet. They've carried you this far. Take a few minutes to care for them now. You'll feel better. You'll move better. And you just might avoid a serious health issue down the road. Your feet may be out of sight, but they should never be out of mind. Mistake number 4, poor hand hygiene. We touch our face, we handle food, we open doors, we adjust glasses, we scratch an itch. And we do all of this with our hands without even thinking. Now think about what happens if those hands aren't clean. That's how colds spread. That's how stomach bugs get around. And that's how dangerous infections creep in, especially when your immune system isn't what it used to be. I'll be honest, I didn't used to wash my hands as often as I should have. Not unless they looked dirty. But looks can be deceiving. Some of the worst germs are invisible. One winter, I caught a nasty virus that landed me in bed for a week. Couldn't figure out where I got it, until I realized how often I touched my eyes or nose without thinking. I'd been out at the pharmacy, the grocery store, the doctor's office. I'd touched carts, pens, counters, and I hadn't washed up properly when I got home. Doctors see it all the time. Older adults come in with infections that likely started with something as simple as dirty hands. Urinary tract infections, respiratory illnesses, even skin conditions, all can be made worse by poor hand hygiene. And it's not just about washing hands, it's about how and when. Here's what I started doing differently. I wash my hands before every meal, even at home. I wash after using the bathroom always, after coming in from outside, and after touching shared surfaces. I use warm water, soap, and scrub for at least 20 seconds. I don't forget the backs of my hands, between my fingers and under my nails. I dry them completely and moisturize afterward to prevent cracking. That last part matters. Older skin dries out faster, and cracks in the skin are open doors for infection. I keep a small bottle of lotion next to the sink now. It helps. If you have trouble standing at the sink, use hand wipes or alcohol-based sanitizer when you need a quicker option. But nothing replaces good old soap and water. And don't forget your nails. Doctors notice when they're dirty, thick, or long. Not only is it unsanitary, it can affect your grip, your typing, your comfort. I trim mine every week now, like clockwork. If any of this feels familiar, if you've ever caught yourself eating without washing or rubbing your eye after touching a doorknob, don't feel bad. Just get back on track. Build a routine. And if these reminders help you feel more confident, more capable, and a bit more in control, I hope you'll like this video and subscribe to Glowing Age. We talk about the stuff no one teaches, but everyone needs to hear. Clean hands aren't just polite. They're protective. They protect you, they protect others, and they show that you're still taking ownership of your health. The next time you reach for a snack or scratch your nose, pause and ask, have I washed my hands? If not, do it. It's simple, it's smart, and it just might save you from your next trip to the doctor. Because no matter how old we are, clean hands are still one of the best defenses we've got. Mistake number 5, wearing soiled or reworn clothes. Here's something we don't talk about often, but it's one of the first things doctors notice the moment you walk in the room: your clothes. Not just what you're wearing, but how it smells, how it fits, and how often it's been changed. And believe me, it matters more than most people think. I once had a neighbor who was well into his 70s. Sharp mind, warm heart, but over time I noticed something. He wore the same sweater nearly every day, same pants, same socks, and eventually a faint odor started to follow him. It wasn't that he didn't care, it was that he stopped paying attention. He'd say, "They're not dirty, I didn't sweat," or "I'm not going anywhere special today." But what he didn't realize is that clothes collect more than dirt. They collect skin cells, oils, bacteria, and even the moisture from your body. And over time, those layers create not just odor, but skin irritation, itching, and sometimes even infections. Doctors know this. When you show up wearing stained, wrinkled, or clearly worn clothes, especially things like underwear, socks, or inner layers, it tells them a lot about how well you're taking care of yourself. And that's not judgment, it's concern. Sometimes wearing the same clothes over and over is a sign of depression, fatigue, or even declining memory. And if it's hard to do laundry or change outfits due to mobility, that's an issue worth solving, not ignoring. But let's talk solutions, not shame. Here's what I started doing that helped. I keep a simple rotation. 5 pairs of underwear, 5 pairs of socks, 3 sets of shirts and pants that I swap every few days. I change my clothes every morning, even if I'm staying home. I keep a laundry basket in a visible spot to remind myself what's due for washing. And I do laundry on a schedule, every Sunday and Wednesday. No guessing, no delays. Fresh clothes feel better, they help your skin breathe, they help you feel more presentable. And yes, they smell better, something you might not notice, but others certainly do. I'll never forget the first time I changed into a fresh outfit after a rough week of skipping things. I felt human again. Clean clothes have that power. It's not vanity, it's a signal to yourself. I still care. And if you're someone who's struggling with energy, memory, or even the motivation to keep up with clothing changes, don't try to overhaul your whole wardrobe. Just start by making one small commitment. Fresh socks every day, then add in clean shirts, then pants. One step at a time. Doctors notice what you wear because it reflects how you're really doing. And when you show up looking cared for, they see someone who's still fighting for their health, their dignity, and their life. You deserve that. So tomorrow morning when you get dressed, choose something fresh, comfortable, clean. Because wearing clean clothes isn't about impressing anyone. It's about respecting the person still living inside those clothes. That's you. And you're worth it. Mistake number 6. Overusing scented products to mask odor. Let's be honest, we've all done it at some point. Used cologne, perfume, or body spray to try to cover something up. Maybe we skipped a shower. Maybe we were running late. Maybe we just didn't notice an odor until it was time to head out the door. A few quick sprays and off we go. But here's the thing, doctors notice when that scent is doing more hiding than highlighting. I once sat next to a man in a waiting room who smelled like he'd taken a bath and aftershave. The scent wasn't bad, but it was strong. And underneath it, there was something else. A sour smell, like old sweat that had settled into the skin. That's when it hit me. Fragrance is not a substitute for hygiene. And worse, for many older adults, heavy perfumes and sprays can actually cause problems. Skin irritation, allergic reactions, even breathing issues, especially for those with asthma or COPD. Some scented lotions dry out the skin. Some colognes cling to clothes that haven't been properly washed. And often, what we think smells good may be overwhelming or unpleasant to someone else. Now, I'm not saying you have to stop using fragrance altogether. A touch of scent can be lovely, but it should never take the place of proper bathing. Doctors can tell the difference. They'll notice if you've tried to mask body odor with a cloud of cologne. They'll notice if your skin is dry and flaky from too many harsh products. And they'll notice if you're not smelling fresh, but still trying to pretend you are. So what's the better way? Start with real hygiene. Bathing regularly, changing clothes often, and cleaning the areas where odor tends to build up. Underarms, feet, groin, folds of skin. Use gentle, unscented soaps that clean without irritating. If you want to add a little fragrance afterward, go light. A dab on the wrists, a spritz behind the ears, something subtle. And make sure it's going on clean skin and clean clothes. Otherwise, you're not freshening up. You're just layering scent over sweat. I'll never forget what one nurse told me during a checkup. I'd rather smell clean skin than a gallon of body spray. That stuck with me. If you're using strong scents because you're worried about body odor, it might be time to take a closer look at your hygiene routine. Fragrance should be the finishing touch, not the cover-up. Because smelling clean isn't about impressing anyone. It's about respecting yourself and the people around you. So today, maybe skip the extra spritz, take the extra shower instead. It'll feel better, smell better, and your doctor will notice and thank you for it. Mistake number 7, neglecting grooming and hair care. Grooming is one of those things that seems small until it isn't. Hair, nails, eyebrows, beards, these little details tell a bigger story about how we're doing. And for older adults, they can reveal a lot more than most people realize. I remember visiting a friend in assisted living. She had always been sharp and stylish, her hair curled, her clothes ironed, her nails trimmed. But the day I came to see her, she looked different. Her hair was flat and greasy. Her fingernails were long and yellowed. Her eyebrows were overgrown. She looked older not just in age, but in spirit. And I knew something was wrong. When we stop grooming, it often means something else has started slipping. Energy, motivation, memory, or even mood. Doctors notice this right away. They see unwashed or matted hair and know it might be a sign of depression. They spot long, jagged nails and think about fall risk, self-neglect, or early cognitive decline. They notice facial hair that's suddenly unmanaged or patches of skin hiding under an unkempt beard. These aren't just cosmetic concerns. They're clues. And the truth is, grooming doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be consistent. Here's what I do and what I suggest for anyone who wants to age with confidence, dignity, and care. Brush or comb your hair every day. If shampooing is hard, try dry shampoo once or twice a week between washes. Trim your fingernails and toenails every 1-2 weeks. Use clippers with a good grip or ask for help if needed. Check your ears, eyebrows, and nose for stray hairs. Use a battery trimmer if you can't manage scissors. Shave if you prefer to be clean-shaven, or keep your beard neat and brushed if you like the facial hair. It doesn't have to be fancy, just intentional. I have a simple grooming routine on Mondays and Fridays, nothing extreme. But it keeps me feeling human. It reminds me that I'm still showing up, still choosing to care. And when you walk into a doctor's office looking clean and put together, it says something. It says, "I still care about myself." It helps them take you more seriously. And it helps you take your own health more seriously too. Because grooming isn't about impressing anyone else. It's about reminding yourself and everyone around you that you are still here, still worth caring for, still paying attention, still alive and still you. And that's something to be proud of. There's no need for perfection, just awareness. By staying consistent with these small hygiene habits, you're not just avoiding doctors' warnings, you're protecting your comfort, your health, and your confidence. Brush, bathe, trim, wash, dress, check in. And most of all, care. If this video helped you feel seen, supported, or reminded to make a small change, please like it and subscribe to Glowing Age. This is a space where aging is done with purpose, pride, and a little help from friends. And I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 7 habits surprised you or hit home the most? Let's talk about it in the comments below. Because a clean life isn't just about appearance, it's about showing up for yourself every day with quiet strength.